Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems. I hope that you're doing well on this Wednesday, Wednesday after. I'm ready for this week to be over, it sounds like. On this Wednesday webinar, I appreciate everybody attending this afternoon. Today, we're going to be talking about training. Now, I mentioned that briefly in our webinar from last week. I know that maybe the title was a little bit different on the invitation today, but we're going to still talk about ABS's training. Can I succeed with ABS's training? So for those that are on here today and those that will be listening to this a little bit later on our YouTube channel, I think you'll get a lot out of it. So again, I hope that you're doing well today and looking forward to our webinar, and it's time for us to begin. So it's good. Looks like we've got a good crowd coming on in here. Deanna, good to see you. Louise, Patrick, Shannon, good to see everybody here this afternoon. For those that are just now logging in, if you don't mind, just maybe finding that Q&A box. Let me know where you're calling in from today, and that will be helpful on two platforms. Number one, it allows me to know that I'm being heard okay, and then it just lets you know where the Q&A box is, because I want you to ask me some questions today as we kind of go through there. Okay, so again, for some of those that are just now dialing in and getting in here, find the Q&A box and just let me know your city, where you're calling in from. All right, my name's Eric Auger. I'll be your host this afternoon. I am the Director of Learning and Engagement. Part of what we're going to be talking about today is how you're going to be engaging with some of your potential clients, and so feel free to jump on in there and ask me some questions. All right. Got some more people that are in here this afternoon. So as time goes on, we get a few more folks in here. Again, if you want to make sure that I know that I'm being heard, please type in just the city and the state that you're calling in from. I see Deanne's from Houston, Texas. I hope that you're doing well down there. And we're up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so good to have another Texan on the line this afternoon. Let me know if you, for the rest of you, Louise, Patrick, Pravan, let's see, Connie, Hale, some of you, those that are just now joining in, Tommy, Shannon. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me give you a little brief history and who we are here at American Business Systems. ABS has been in business for over 30 years now. Adam Phillips is our CEO, has been at the helm at that leadership position for the last few years. Adam has also been featured in some prominent magazines. One of them is the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine, as you can see right here. He has authored several books, and one of the books that they showcase here is this book that I'm showing right here, 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers, that he co-authored with Dr. Vicki Rackner. As I mentioned, he is a contributing editor, author in this magazine. He's coming out with a new article that's going to be coming out pretty soon. And hopefully sometime in August, I will have an interview with Adam, hopefully based upon his article that will be being posted there in that magazine. Adam also is the founder of an organization. Obviously, his parents were the founders of American Business Systems. Adam founded the organization called MERMA. MERMA is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. It is this organization that you'll be a part of once you've completed all of your training here at American Business Systems. And it'll be them that will certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. So after you get through the training that I'm going to share with you about today, they will certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. And you will be able to put that on all of your marketing material and on your website, every place that you want to put your credentials, you can do that. All right, so Louise says he's from St. Augustine, Florida. I know we've got more people than just 2 on here, so if maybe Tommy, you can let me know where you're from, and Patrick, or Juvie, or Hale, or Fred, or just let me know just where you're dialing in from. It's always good to know, because I want you to know where the Q&A box is as we kind of get started. All right, so today, we want to talk about, can I succeed at ABS's training? So today, all that we're going to be talking about today is training. Okay, thank you, everybody. Patrick's from St. Pete. Got a lot of people from Florida. Tommy's from Bradenton, Florida. Connie's from Ann Arbor, Michigan. So thank you, folks. Appreciate you typing that in there. So if you can keep your Pinehurst, North Carolina is where Fred is from. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate you dialing in there. And Juvie is from Maryland. Good to have you here as well. All right, so all questions should probably be built around our our training. So if you'll make sure that if you'll kind of keep it there. Now, if you've got other questions about maybe how to get started and cost and anything else like that, you might want to reserve that towards the end, and we can kind of try to keep everything we can built around the training. Pravin is from Pasadena, California. So, folks, now I can see that we've got folks from coast to coast. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So, let me first start teaching you a little bit. I like to say we like to start training right here today. You don't have to pay for this. This is on the house here. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about medical billing and what revenue cycle management is all about. So I've got this circle up over here, and you can see it says in the middle, revenue cycle management. So what I'd like for you to start doing, if you're truly interested in getting involved in this line of work and having this as a business to work from home, business opportunity, I want you to start thinking in the realms of what is revenue cycle management. Now, what you can do, you can obviously go in and type this in a search engine. Now with artificial intelligence, you can really get some deep diving in on the ins and outs of revenue cycle management. So you can go put in that and do some research, and you're just go to town and try to find out what you can find on revenue cycle management. But basically, it's these 5 things here. So when you start doing billing for a doctor, obviously, you got to start off by getting the information, and that starts with the data collection, and that starts with getting patients registered before you even do a claim processing. Now, I will tell you, it is right here at the beginning where things can certainly go off track. It is right here at the patient registration where a lot of claims are denied. And what I mean by that is that a claim gets processed. You may have all the right medical codes and everything else to go along with that. But whoever put in the patient information, the patient's demographics, if they misspelled a name or they got the insurance information typed into the database incorrectly, when that claim is submitted, the likelihood of that claim being paid is absolutely zero, because what will happen, it'll come back as a can't find it, or something's wrong. So there is a big importance of making sure patient registration is done properly. Now, fortunately, our iClaim system will actually do a lot of that heavy lifting. And what I mean by that is that, let's say that you are a brand new patient to a doctor's office, and let's say that that doctor is utilizing iClaim as their practice management and their billing software. So at the front desk, when they ask you for your driver's license and your insurance card, obviously they got to take that and scan it in. But a lot of times, all they're doing is taking a PDF of it or a snapshot of it, and it's going into your file. It's not actually going into the record. Now, with iClaim, it will, because what you have to do to set up a patient in iClaim is not just put the patient's name in there, but put the patient's ID number for their insurance company. So let's just say it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, and you're going in there and you want to go, okay, I know that this patient is a Blue Cross Blue Shield patient. I'm going to put their first name on their last name, and then I'm going to put obviously their Blue Cross Blue Shield number in there, their identification number there. And what the iClaim system will do, it'll actually go to Blue Cross Blue Shield, find that patient, and then once that patient's found within their records, then it'll show up on the screen. You can make sure and dictate and make sure that you got all the information right. And then with one click of a button, we can create a brand new patient chart inside of there. Now, what that means is the likelihood that you're going to get a claim kicked back because of bad information is not going to happen. That's the great thing about our system. So I will say this here at the beginning of the webinar. If you haven't had an opportunity to get back with your sales rep here at American Business Systems, ask them to show you a demonstration of our iClaim software, specifically on patient registration. Now, once you've got that taken care of, the next thing you're going to do is do the claims transmission. You're going to get all the information from that doctor, what they said and what they did, and I'm going to show you a little bit about coding here in just a second. But that claim's going to get transmitted and sent off to a Blue Cross Blue Shield or a Medicare or Medicaid, and let's get that that claim through and processed and get it over there. The third thing that's going to happen there is claims management. That's part of your work there. So you're going to be doing some what's called the ERAs and making sure that the payments are posted properly. Then once you get through with that, then you're going to go through AR, accounts receivable. Were there any secondary claims? You know, some people have more than one insurance company. They've got their primary, and then they've got their secondary. And secondary doesn't pay until primary pays. So you got to kind of go through this AR follow-up. And then finally, the reporting, which includes your bill or your invoice to the doctor for what you did, how you helped them collect that certain amount of money. So let's say that you help that doctor collect, I don't know, $50,000. You're going to get 6, 7, or 8% of that as your income. So that you folks, you can just do the math right there. Let's just real quickly, I'm going to get my calculator out here. And let's see what 7% of $50,000 is. And that should be 7% times 50,000. Well, I can't get my calculator to work here. 50,000 times 7%. There we go. That's $3,500 to you. Times 12, it's $42,000. So, folks, if you've been talking with your sales rep here and they've been telling you that you can make anywhere from 25, 30,000 up to 60,000, you can see that fits right there, right smack dab in the middle. And getting claims out for a doctor's office about $50,000 is pretty much what a primary care physician is going to be doing. So, but that's the revenue cycle model. Okay, so instead of just becoming a medical biller, you're going to become a revenue cycle management specialist. Okay, so that's what you are. That's what you do. Now, let me talk a little bit about medical billing basics. Okay, so some of you may be a little timid about getting into this because you don't know anything about coding. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need to know anything about coding. I'm going to explain that through the next couple of slides. You can see here there's two different people. There's two different types of people that are possibly in a doctor's office or outside of a doctor's office or even inside of a medical billing company. You're going to have people that maybe do, and all they do are medical coding. What that person does, they turn doctor's notes into numerical medical codes. That's so that when you send that off to the insurance company, they're going through their procedure codes and then their diagnosis codes, and they're going to put all of that together, and then they're going to give all of that to a medical biller so that medical biller can put all of that inside of a system. So let's figure out what the two types of medical codes that you're going to need to actually do medical billing. So basically, again, you're turning words or the doctor's notes into numbers so that the insurance companies will pay a claim to the physician. That's what medical coding is. Now, again, don't lose you here early on, because I'm going to show you that there's nothing that you're going to have to learn about this. The system's going to do it for you. But there are two types of codes. There's a diagnosis code. That basically is telling the insurance company what the doctor found, what was wrong with the patient. A cough, an ingrown toenail, heart palpitations, high blood pressure. Those are diagnoses, okay? So there has to be some reason that the patient came in, maybe the flu, pneumonia, whatever it may be, there is a diagnosis code for that. Then what the next code that's going to be needed is a procedure code. A procedure code takes what the doctor did for the patient to take care of that patient. Okay, so the doctor spent 10 minutes in asking the patient some questions. They did an examination. They may have even run some tests. They may have even done some type of procedure there in the doctor's office. There's many different types of procedures, so there are many different types of procedure codes. So you take a diagnosis code and then the procedure code, and you put all of that together. Those are the codes that are going to go on your claim that you're going to be filing for a doctor. Now, here's the great thing that I'm going to relieve you so that everybody can stop hyperventilating here. It's not your responsibility to provide the codes for medical billing. That's the doctor's responsibility. It's the doctor's responsibility to provide the medical codes to the billing company. Folks, if they're a specialist, they know all their codes already because they're seeing the same types of patients day in and day out. The doctors don't have to sit there and go, man, I got to write all these notes and type out all these notes, and then I got to go back and figure out what codes to use. No, they already know. They're circling. If you've ever seen what's called a CMS 1500 form or some type of claims chart form, all the doctor's doing is circling or maybe writing down that they spent 20 minutes with this patient, which has been a 99214 or a 215 or something like that. And they're just giving that information to somebody there in their office to input that information. However, if there are some doctors that all they do is take down notes, and usually those types of people are going to be surgeons, and yes, you can do billing for surgeons. All of their notes are going to be coming in a text format, and those you probably will need to get converted into codes. Now, the great thing about it is, as part of all of your package here, one of those resources that you're going to have is what's called CodeWrite. CodeWrite can take those notes. Imagine having in your medical billing practice a certified professional coder on call to do all of your coding for you. Obviously, there's a little bit of a charge. It's not a big charge. It's a very minimal type of charge to get these notes into codes. And yes, you can upcharge for that. If the doctor's given you the responsibility, they're assuming that you've got a coder on staff. Well, obviously you got to pay for that coder. So you're going to charge that doctor to do their coding and their billing. Those are two separate charges. So don't worry about the medical billing coding at all. So that's all included there. All right, so we're already 15 minutes into the webinar. And if you've got any questions concerning medical codes or getting things started or what is revenue cycle management, feel free to pop those questions in on over there. If not, I'm going to keep going forward because I really want to get into the training part of the aspect of it here. But what I wanted to do was give you a little bit of education today. And that education is that you're going to become a revenue cycle management specialist, that you specialize in revenue cycle management, and that you don't have to worry about the codes. Now, you already know that there's diagnosis codes and procedure codes that are going to go with that. We can help you at our support team if you get anything extra that you need help with. So, because we know that we're here to help train you in every aspect of this particular business. Now, my next slide is going to actually show you the basically our syllabus of what you're going to learn. Now, if you want to, there are two things how to get this list. You can either on your phone or on your computer right now, if you want to take a screenshot of that, feel free to do that. This whole slide deck is available for you. All you've got to do is go back and ask your sales rep for a PDF of this slide deck, and they'll get that to you as well. So if you want to learn about all of these different modules and the scope of what you're going to be learning, this is one way to be able to get that. But let's first of all just take a quick flyover here real quickly, because in each of the next slides that I'm going to go in, I'm going to kind of go in a little bit deeper with those, but there are 10 modules, and those 10 modules are going to last you about 90 minutes with a one-on-one live trainer here at American Business Systems, okay? That person already is a business owner here with American Business Systems and has been for several years. So whenever you're going to get into the introduction of medical billing and practice workflow and the introduction to medical billing, understanding how iClaim and EMRX works, she or he are going to go through all of that with you. Now you can see all of the parts of the business is going to be gone over through modules 1 through 5. You can see everything from iClaim to EMRX to iClaim and EMRX pricing to Dentimax, those that want to do dental billing, Choice Pay, Quick Collect, that all has to do with accounts receivable information there. Audit Guard and Code Right, Compliancy Guard, all of that is all a part of all of the different services that you're going to have here with us at American Business Systems. AutoCard and Credentials Now and Doctables and any types of review of any other services that we have, you're going to go through all of that in these modules. And again, these modules last about 90 minutes long. This first 5 probably take you about a little over a week and a half to get through with that. Then the second half is modules 6 through 10. And you can see all of that for the next week and a half. All of that is working on building your business. Introduction to marketing, how to do your warm marketing, business networkings, how to use the marketing books and ebooks and all of the different things, all the different strategies, including, as you can see there in module 10, there are actual working modules that instructor is going to go through with you and help you get lined up with your first client. So folks, this is what it's all going to be about. We're here to help you get your first client. We don't want to just sit back and say, hey, we've got a great education program. We think this is a great business model for you to be in. We are in it, the weeds with you from the very beginning. And obviously that first part is helping you get your first client. Now, there is an in-depth certified medical revenue management training outline and agenda. And that's what I'm going to go through next here. So this is a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to kind of just show you from like what you're going to be learning out of module 1 and then module 2 and all of these different things. And we're first of all start off with a comprehensive business setup. Some of you this is your first time to ever start your business. We're going to help you understand what it's going to take to get and set up your first medical business entity and what it's going to take. Were you going to be an LLC or a corporation? Are you going to do this as a partnership? You're going to do this as a sole proprietor? We're going to kind of help and guide you. Now, we're not attorneys, we're not tax attorneys, and we're not CPAs. Now, what we do have a little bit of background in it is because all of us had to start somewhere. Now, at least we can point you into the right directions and how to help you get all that set up. Then we're going to get you set up virtually, set up your company with your business address and your phone system. Folks, obviously, hanging out your shingle takes a little bit of work, and it's more than just writing your name on a shingle and putting it down on the front porch of your driveway. There's some things that we're going to kind of step you through. We're even going to help you with some recommended some areas of your logo solutions, professional website templates. We've got all different types of templates that you can choose from to get your website up going. So that's your modern day shingle that you're going to put up there. And we're going to help you with your recommendations on your CRM. That's your customer relations management. Once you start getting some leads in, what are you going to start doing? And even accounting software for your business. That's just getting you kind of just kicked off there. Now, as this whole introduction, now we're going to start teaching you how medical workflows work within that office. Everything from that first time where that patient literally steps in that door to the time when that patient steps out of that door. We're going to take you through the full workflow of that entire office there. We're going to obviously address revenue challenge that are very specific to certain medical practices, whether they are a chiropractor, whether it's a primary care physician, whether it's a mental health group clinic. Every one of these different medical practices have their own revenue challenges, and we're going to kind of help step you through all that. We're also going to cover all the HIPAA rules and regulations, the compliances, and how to reduce those compliance risks for each of those offices. You would not imagine how often HIPAA issues are violated every single day. We're also going to teach you and provide you a thorough understanding of the revenue cycle. That's that whole thing that I showed you earlier, that 5 steps, but through your training on your one-on-one training. We're going to take our time and help you through that, and then teach you solutions to help you with accounts receivables. Now, folks, this is one of those areas that you're going to find out that plagues these offices the most. It's after they've seen the patient and how to get the collections. Folks, sometimes that certain procedures are done and the patient may have paid it, or the insurance may have paid it, and then there might be a patient portion that the patient has to pay. How the doctor's going to collect that, because that's part of their revenue, because that's part of the contracted part about being with an insurance company. Let's say that insurance company says, for a specific procedure code, doctor, we're going to reimburse you. It's worth 150. But we're going to reimburse you 100. The other 50, you're either going to get it out of a copay, or it's going to be the patient's responsibility. It's still up to you, doctor, to get that balance from that provider. From that patient. So we're going to teach you and show you some of the solutions for that. All right, that's the deep medical industry knowledge as we're going to take you through. Before moving on, the next section is going to be a little bit more practical technology that I'm going to show you. But any questions about this so far? I don't want to go too quickly. We're almost at the bottom of the hour, and I've got a lot of things to kind of help walk you through. Now, let's talk about some practical technical training. Insurance claims. How are we going to handle all the challenges and the solutions for that? Because every office is going to present different challenges, which are going to need different solutions, and we're going to walk you through all of that. So hopefully what you're seeing so far is that you're going to get a extremely detailed training from us. That's why Myrma sits behind us to make sure that we're getting all that training to you, because this is what you're going to need to have. So when you walk out of that, you're going to know more than most doctors and most office managers know, because even though that maybe an office manager has gone to a medical billing school, they have not gone through the business side of all of this. So you can see, compare outsource versus in-house billing advantages. We're going to help you through that. We're going to show you the practice management systems and all the trainings on that. And a practice management system is nothing more than the iClaim billing software. Now, I will say this. Some of you may be thinking, well, do I have to sell our software to a doctor? That software is there to enhance the billing if needed, and if that doctor really wants to get that, they can. But we're going to show you even how to use the doctor's current billing system if they're not just ready to move yet to an iClaim platform yet. We're going to cover the importance of the eligibility verifications. That's that whole part that I was telling you about earlier. How are we going to verify that this patient is eligible to receive benefits from their insurance company? That's what we're going to teach you and show you how to do, and teach you appointment reminders, making sure that the patients are coming in at a specific time and keeping that workflow going for those doctors. Now, we're going to next show you your diverse revenue streams. Some of you, like you said, want to learn more than just medical billing. Some of you want to learn dental billing. We're going to have got you that covered there for some training for that. We're also going to cover virtual care as a practice profit center. Now, let me explain this to you before I move off of this one. So what is virtual care? Well, this was birthed out of the COVID days, folks. If y'all remember that, that was a time whenever we couldn't even leave our homes, let alone get to a doctor's office. But yet patients still needed treatment from their doctors. So out of this muck that we know about the COVID pandemic there, what came out of that are some solutions for what's called virtual care. This allows doctors to read the blood pressures of their patients utilizing certain blood pressure cuffs that are cellular enabled, that will, once that blood pressure takes, you ever had your blood pressure taken, and then it gives you a readout there, instead of just writing it down. From there, it actually connects with a cellular connection, and it goes directly to a piece of software that is shared between you and that doctor's office there. So that's what virtual care is all about. We're the only medical billing business opportunity that I know of today that still has a virtual care part of the business. We're also going to teach you how to work those remote patient monitoring services, and that's all part of the virtual care part of it. Quick collect and accounts receivable solutions, those are revenue streams for you. And we're going to show you how to use CodeWrite or Audit Guard, which again, if you doctors need coding, how you're going to make money on top of that and implement that within that doctor's office. Again, for those that are looking to expand their business, you've got the virtual care, you've got DentaMax, but on top of that, we've got the Quick Collect. Quick Collect is to help these doctors get paid on balances that they're owed to them. Choice Pay does the same thing. Audit Guard helps keep those doctors, for some doctors, they want to do their own coding. We want to make sure that they're coding correctly. So there's a way in which we can go through and make sure that those doctors have everything that's needed to make sure that they're coding properly. We don't want them leaving money on the table, but on the other hand, we don't want them overcharging like a Medicare just that in a month or two, Medicare goes, I think we paid you a little bit too much for that. We're going to claw that money back. So Audit Guard keeps those claims, codes there properly, and making sure that those doctors are making sure that they're coding the proper way. All right. Any questions so far? All right, I'm going to keep going. Compliance expertise. Now, again, if there's an area that a doctor can get hammered, and that is HIPAA compliancy. We're going to go through and explain Medicare audits, preparations, and defenses against a HIPAA issue. We're going to make sure that we help cover all the HIPAA compliances in detail. We're going to show you how to include what's called Compliancy Guard, which is another solution here, help to protect those doctors from against the fines. Those fines could be $5,000 or $10,000 per incident if they're not careful, and that could shipwreck an entire doctor's office if they're not kept careful. We're going to teach you how to prepare a practice for regulatory audits. Listen, any doctor office is under any type of audit at any given time, not just Medicare, but Aetna does it, Cigna does it, Blue Cross Blue Shield does it. Folks, there is not a time where that doctor's office hasn't been at least through one or two, if not more, audits within the same year. And we're going to help you get that doctor prepared from here on out, because Compliancy Guard will help that doctor make sure that they have everything in order. Now, one little caveat to that, doctors' offices change their staff all the time. And every time that they've got a new staff member, they have to take that new staff member through a compliancy training. Compliancy Guard will help them take care of that for them automatically. And that's what we really want to showcase here with Compliancy Guard. It really does help keep those doctors out of trouble. And we can help you make money on top of that, along with everything else that you're doing with the billing side of it. Now, moving on to marketing. Marketing is this is all for you. So you can kind of see that we've gone through modules 1 through 5 already. Now we're going to start looking at modules 6 through 10. And marketing and patient retention is key for you to stay in business. We're going to show you how to use AutoCard for patient retentions and referrals for the doctor's office. So what's great about this is that we're going to, one solution of AutoCard can actually work for the doctor, and it can also work for you. For you, that can be utilized as what's known as what we call it in the marketing industry called drip marketing campaigns. These little postcards, and actual postcards actually get sent to the doctor's office just to keep you at the top of the mind. But on the other side, we're going to show the doctor how to use AutoCard to keep them on the top of the mind of their patients. Because folks, if you got just a regular primary care, that primary care needs to make sure that all of their patients, sometimes that doctor will have anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 patients within their book of business. We want to make sure that that doctor's touching every single one of them. It could be with a birthday card, an anniversary card. It could be to remind them of their annual wellness visits that are coming up, mammograms that they probably need to have, hey, we appreciate you being a patient of ours. AutoCard is a marketing campaign both for you and for the doctors to be able to use. The other thing is that you're going to help these doctors as a marketing tool is Credentials Now. Credentials is what a doctor needs to go through before they even can submit a claim to Medicare and or any of the other insurance companies. It's called their credentials. You've got to present their credentials to these insurance companies and take care of that. Credentials Now is a complete service to make sure that the doctors are up to code of what they do, because ever so often they have to update their new information. You may end up getting a brand new doctor and needs being fully credentialed with everybody. So that's an area of making that we're going to be helping you and teach you how to market to these doctors. And we're going to teach you how to do online review management for medical practices. This is exactly what it means. That we're going to teach you how to do webinars. If you want to do a webinar or a podcast or do things within LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, folks, we're going to teach you and make you a marketing machine is part of what we're going to be doing here. And all of these are within your training, includes the cost of the service training of everything that you do. And again, here's a couple of those there showcase it, which is AutoCard and Credentials Now. And every one of these that you see here that looks like a flyer, that's part of your marketing campaign. You're going to get over 2,000 pieces here from American Business Systems. And you can see down there, kind of the left-hand corner, there looks like there's a lot of white space there. Well, that's intentional because that's where all of your information is going to go on. Your company name, your contact, your email address, your website, and all of that information, the logo of your company, all will be printed directly on there, not with stickers, but actually printed from our printing company, as though that you're getting those printed directly from the printer themselves. All right, so now we're going to get into some business development strategies. We're going to define your target market. That's one of the biggest areas of help that you need to make sure that you have. Do you know what target market do you want to go after? Now, if you were on our webinar that I had last Wednesday, which was with Tim Warren, Tim, whenever he first got started, he ended up in the podiatry world. That's a foot doctor. But some of our team here has found some, what we hate to call it low-hanging fruit, but there are some target markets that we're going to kind of help you with to show you that you can get a client pretty quickly and start doing some billing. And we're going to help define that and really zone in on some of those areas. We're going to teach you how to become the expert, not just somebody that's gone through a video class on medical billing, but truly how to become the expert. And I'm going to show you how that's going to show you here. One of the areas is our coordination of care with Dr. Vicki Rackner. Now, Dr. Rackner is our medical director for MIRMA, and she has helped many of our folks get introduced to doctors, and we're going to show you how that can happen through our training. We're going to show you how to do what's called a practice analysis questionnaire and how to be able to utilize those templates. Those are the things that are going to help you understand a lot about that doctor's office. How many patients are they seeing? How many claims that they push out every week? How many of those claims actually come back and they're not paid? They're basically what's called rejected claims. We're going to calculate all of that, put it all through these templates and show you how to do all of that and show you really what the doctors are currently making and what they could make if they went to somebody like yourself. We're also going to show you how to co-brand some books. One of the books that you'll see or the materials, this is going to show you how to build your credibility within the market. And I'm going to show you that on my next slide here. But we're going to teach you how to get referrals and reciprocity techniques. But part of your setting up your own credentials and your credibility is to be on the cover of a book. This is not just an ebook that you're going to send out. This is an actual printed book that I think has about 275 plus pages in it. It's called The New Thriving Medical Practice. This is not a book that you're going to be selling to anybody. This is a book that you're going to be giving out as part of your marketing strategies. You'll see at the bottom of that book has authors of the book, which was Patrick Phillips and Dr. Vicki Ragnar. But right underneath there, there's another name, and it's the forward by, in this case, somebody by the name of Susan Smith. Well, this won't be Susan Smith that wrote this. This would be you. It would be Connie or Fred or Juvie or Lucretia, whoever's on, whatever your name is. That's the name that's going to go on the book, and inside of the book, that's going to go on that. So Fred says, "Is this legal?" Yes, absolutely, it's legal because it's going to be your contact in that part of that forward of the book, because you can rewrite the forward if you want to, because these are print on demand type books. So if you want to tweak the forward up a little bit, you can certainly be able to do that. So, but what I'll do for you today, let me tell you, for those that are on the call today, if you would like to get a PDF of this book so you can start just peruse it yourself and start thinking about how would I want to write the forward to the book, you can absolutely get a copy of that. Just remind me at the end of where I'm going to remind you how to get a copy of this at the end of the webinar. Now, let me move on to the next practical part, and probably the biggest area where all of our brand new business owners get their first clients, and that is through networking and lead generation. And this is an area where we work very closely with you, very much. So imagine that you're going through the training, not only going to be going through the training, but you're going to be going and start building your target market, and you're going to be assigned things that you're going to need to go out there to start doing. Because folks, again, let me put it this way to you. You are the owner of your organization, and nobody's going to tell anybody about your business except for you, and nobody can tell the story better than you can. You are going to be your own storyteller of your organization and what you do, and we're going to help you build that storyline. You need to be the best storyteller that you can be, so not only you can tell your friends or those people that you know in your business world, but whenever you go to a business networking meeting, we're going to show you how to make sure that you get your message across that outstands everybody else. We're going to teach you how to, in those networking meetings, create what's called power partners. These are people that are going to help you and bring you leads, and how to develop those. We're going to show you how to do that through social marketing strategies, how to reach certain doctors. Folks, some of our folks have gotten so creative on social market media. It's amazing. Both you combine that with the person and one-on-one networking that you can do with social media. We're going to show you how to cover warm market presentation techniques. There's going to be times that you can actually present like at a chamber of commerce, or you can participate in a chamber of commerce. Sometimes, again, those leads will come right directly from a local area like that. One of the biggest areas that are utilized is the BNI group, the Business Network International groups, and they will only allow a certain amount of people in the healthcare in that particular networking group, and many times none of them have a medical billing group in it. So those are wide open. So we're going to teach you how to create that perfect, what is known as the perfect elevator pitch, which only takes you about 90 seconds to be able to push that out there, and we're going to help you do that. This is how we continue to keep growing our business. Folks, if we weren't helping brand new people that are coming into here, we would not have new people like you coming into it, because what we do, those new people that come in, we're helping them get clients. They're telling others. They become part of a list of folks that you can actually talk to. And I'm going to show you how to get a hold of that list here at the end as well. Client acquisitions. We're going to teach you how to make the correct presentation of doing that. We're going to show you how to compensate structures if you want to have a sales team. Excuse me, you can actually hire sales reps to go out and market your business if you want to. We're going to show you how to find staff if you want to do that through classified ads. We're actually going to show you how to use classified ads to present to doctors who are looking for a medical biller. Yes, those are out there. Guess where you can find those? You can find those out on Indeed. We're going to show you how to find certain doctors that are looking for medical billers to hire. Well, why don't they just hire a medical billing company? We're going to show you how to do that. And then start to use that drip marketing campaign to get your clients on board. Then once you've got a doctor that says, okay, Juvie, let's get started here. What's our next steps? We've got complete step-by-step training to help you get through that. We're going to teach you how to work with office managers and get everything set up for there, create your proposals and development for your presentations. We're going to help you cover all of your cost services for all of your pricing strategies. And we're going to make sure that we help you with system implementation. There are going to be some doctors who are ready to move from their billing system to like the iClaim system. And we're going to help you make sure that that transition from start to finish, all that implementation will be handled properly. It also includes your business owner support system that I'm going to show you here in just a moment, how you get access to what's called the licensee support site. So there's going to be, this is where you're going to get all of your contracts, all of your agreements, all of your business associates agreements. This is something you're going to need to do right off the bat. We're going to show you how to do some rapid business launches through your Jumpstart program. And if you'll know, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you took a screenshot of it, those 10 modules, in that 10th module is the Jumpstart program. And this is truly how you're going to get your business kicked into gear and start getting in front of some doctors pretty quickly. This is the site that you'll have access to. It's called abslss.com. Now, you could go there, but all it's going to show you is a login screen. If you don't have the login credentials, you're not going to get past that. But if you would like to, you can get with your sales rep here and say, hey, Eric mentioned about maybe taking a tour of the ABS LSS, and they'll give you a tour of it. They'll just set up a Zoom meeting with you, and they've got access to it. They're going to show you the support site. They're going to show you how to just type in something. If you're looking for something for marketing, you can type that in there. If it's for iClaim, folks, if you would like to get some information on, let's say that you want to set up you've been invited to a conference and you want to go set up at a conference. We actually had trade show booths that you can rent from us, not even really rent from us, you just reserve those. All you got to do is cover the cost of shipping it to you and getting it back to us. But that's available. You can see that all on the licensee support side. All right, folks, we've got about 15 more minutes. That was a lot of information. Folks, you drank from a quick fire hydrant on everything that we're going to teach you. So are you wondering, can you succeed with ABS's training? I can say 100% that you can, because even if after you've gone through training and you feel like you're failing and you're just not getting it, what we're going to do, we're going to go back through and see, is there anything that you're missing through the process? Because typically that's what we find. If you find yourself out there struggling or floundering or whatever might be happening that's going on, and you're just not locking in on getting even a meeting with a doctor, we're here to help you kind of diagnose what's going on and then get it fixed. That's what we're here for you to do. All right. So right now, I don't see any questions in the question box. So let me take a couple. Oh man, here they come. All of a sudden, boom. I got two back to back. Let me go through your questions because I've got some FAQs here and I'll go through those towards the last. Let's see. Okay, so Juvie's asking, how are we going to get our client? Are we going to need to provide our own phone line and email to them? Yes, Juvie, right up at the very front. Let me see if I can go find that here real quickly. One of the things that we're going to help you do is strategize on, let me pull this back up over here. You see where it says the module 1, introduction and practice workflow and introduction to medical billing. In this area right here, we're going to show you how to provide, get your business structured. I think I covered that in one of these here, where it just talks about how to set up your medical billing entity, setting up your LLC, how to virtually set up your company with a business address and a phone number. So there you go. We're going to teach you and show you how to, that's all included in your training. So I'm going to leave this up here while we kind of go through some more questions. So Juby, hopefully that helped answer your question. Oh, yes, absolutely. You said thank you. You bet. Louise, did I understand correctly that we will have to hire our own sales team to generate leads? No, that's one of the options, Louise. You can hire a sales person, a sales team if you want to, or you can just generate this is what I did. And I'm going to speak from experience here, Louise. I actually found people that I partnered with in the healthcare industry. I did go to Chamber of Commerce's and I did go to networking meetings, and I found other people who are in the healthcare field, everybody from home health agencies to nursing homes to rehab centers to folks that were doctors' offices and other types of organizations, and I befriended them because I want to find out how can I help them build their business. And so in turn, what they did, they helped me. And so out of that, I got leads. So I built my leads list from that. And so I didn't have a sales team. I didn't really want a sales team. I wanted to do it on my own. There are some people that wanted to have a sales team, so you can do that. You can actually pay them out of some of your profits there. So hopefully that kind of helped answer your question. Fred says, will you provide a list of those resources for virtual? Yeah, all of those resources that I've talked about here. Again, if you're asking, Fred, if you're asking for a list of today's slide deck, you can certainly get that. Or if there's a different list that you're asking for, maybe just clarify a little bit for me so I make sure that I answer your question here. Let's go through a couple of the frequently asked questions. Not to say that those questions weren't good, but some people have asked often when we go through these webinars on training, how long do I have access to the course? Well, folks, you have a lifetime of access to the course. Once you completed your live training, all of those trainings have already previously been recorded, and they're actually on our ABS LSS website. Now, that doesn't mean that you'll never have another face-to-face engagement. On our ABS LSS website, there's a phone number. There's an 800 number, and you call that number and you would press option 2. Now, that's going to actually get you to our support team. Now, obviously, if you were to call today, you're not in our system. They wouldn't be able to do any more than just say thank you for calling, and we hope that you become a licensee pretty quickly. But what it is that you're going to get live help. So if you need help with a certain thing, or you need to review a certain module of the course, we're here to help you with that. All right. Fred, I was referencing our personal toll-free numbers and address for, yes, absolutely. We've got a list of all of that for you, the perfect recommendations for you. So yes, we have all of that for you, Fred. All right, next one. When does the course start and finish? The course starts as soon as you're ready. You can see here, I say now, and then it never ends. It's a completely self-paced online course. Now, what do I mean self-paced? There are 10 modules that you're going to go through with a live instructor. So once you've had that first engagement with our trainer live, then you're going to work with that person on setting up the rest of your schedule. So you're going to self-pace it around your schedule. They're going to work it around their schedule to make sure. And when you're finished, you're finished. And with the live training of it, and that person's also going to tell you, now, once you've completed this particular module, if you want to review this module again, here's where you're going to go find it on the licensee support site. But if you need some more review before we meet the next time, we might have a little time to review that. And then the last one, what if I'm unhappy with the course? So what we do, like no other business opportunity or franchise out there, we actually give you a 30-day money-back guarantee, so that if you decide at the end of the training this is not for you, simply ask and we'll help you arrange for a full refund of your entire investment. Folks might want to know what the entire investment is. It's right at $30,000. So if that's what you've invested, that's what you're getting back. So folks, you can't go wrong when ABS is taking the bulk of the risk, knowing that you could go through our entire training and then leave us high and dry if you wanted to, but you won't get the support, and you're not going to get the help to try to get your first client. But you might feel that, well, at least I've gone through the training. But we've rarely ever had anybody that's really unhappy. Now, obviously, if you feel like it's just really over your head, we want to make sure that you are 100% satisfied. I remember the days when Patrick was around, and when Patrick started this company, and he always told me, and Adam and the rest of the group here, we would rather have people part as friends than try to part as enemies. And that is carried on through today. We would rather you tell us, hey, this is just not working out for us. So what can we do to get my money back?